this is where CSS kicks in, and the way it works. So let's go and see the CSS for the WordPress theme. Okay, let's just save that. Update. By the way, guys, if you're working on an article, what I like to do, not every people knows that you don't have to publish it right away. You put it as a draft when you're working on it, and then you publish it when you're ready. I didn't know that for the first few weeks. I started working on WordPress a couple of years ago, and I thought it was crazy because my pages were like unfinished and ready to for the public to see. Right, so let's go into the appearance editor, and I'll show you what a CSS looks like. And I'll show you afterwards the most important CSS attributes in my opinion. So, okay, what I went to the style sheet. CSS it's called cascading. CSS is for cascading style sheets. So if you go deeper in the concept, it's because it's applied in like a cascade way, and it's a style sheet. It applies a style to your page. And okay, let's look. Let's choose. Let's see these ones here. Let's do a bit more space. So the way it works, I'll create maybe a new one. You define an element. Let's say I define the P element, and then you put opening and closing brackets. I'll just check on my hard drive space. Alright, because shooting video requires a lot of space. Alright, so you choose an element, let's say the P element, and then you can choose attributes for this element. And I'll name a couple ones, but there are a lot. Go to w3schools.com to have all of them. There's the color element, and this is the way to do the syntax. You name the element, you put a colon, and then you put the value. Let's say I put a blue, and then you put a semicolon. And don't forget to put the semicolon. You'll have problem without it. It won't turn out as you want. But a better way to because there's only so many colors you can access by name. If you want all the colors, you can use like a graphics tool. In my case, I have this color picker here, and I can choose different colors. Let's say I want it this color here. I can copy. This is the color name. You can copy it all with the pound sign. Just Control C, and then use this instead. And you have border. Let's say 2 pixels. You have font size. And if you're interested in going deeper, do it. But I'll spend less time in CSS. Sorry, because I think you won't have to touch it as much as HTML, especially with WordPress. You can all style your stuff with CSS without knowing CSS, but it's good to know. It's good to know. So font size is one of them, and there's a couple ways you can put it like in pixels. You can say larger or just large. You can say smaller. Don't forget this sign here. Or you can say just small, or you can say extra small, or you can say extra small. So there's a couple of ways to do it. And some attributes are only for block level elements, some are for inline elements. So let's say you want your links, your anchor text, to be of the color green instead of the regular blue. Let's say you don't want to be to have your links underlined. You would say text decoration none, because by default it's underlined. But then you can get a little bit more complex. Let's say I want the P element and the div elements to be like that. You put your what's the name of this character? My gosh, sorry guys. Comma, thanks. you put a comma, and then div. So both p elements and div elements are gonna have these attributes. But the thing to remember is that if you define an other attributes for the, like say the p was defined here with other elements, if some of them were in conflict, like it was a duplicate, and the same, like let's say here I said color was red instead of blue, then my text is gonna end up red probably, because there's a couple of rules to define the importance of a tag, and one of them is where it's defined on the sheet. So if it's defined lower on the sheet, it's the one that's gonna be selected. But if you define, because you can define content more precisely. Let's say I just want to define divs that are let's say I just want to define paragraphs that are nested in divs. I do this, and let's say I want to choose anchor text that are nested in a paragraph that are nested in a div. I do it like that, and I'll show you. Okay, well, I think this is enough for now, because this is a lot of information, and I don't recommend you start doing CSS right away before you learn, because it'll be a nightmare, because there are other stuff to consider, like class attributes and ID attributes, because you can give a ID attribute in the HTML, and I'm just writing here. But don't write that in your CSS file. But in HTML, in your tag, let's say you would do a anchor text tag with a href of let's put nothing for now, and you can put an ID attribute of whatever you want, but no spaces and no special characters. But let's say my link, and the way it works is that there should be only one ID per element per page. So don't put my link attribute ID attribute anywhere else on the page on any element. But class attribute, you can put them on as many elements as you want. So let's say my class. So the way it's easier to categorize your elements like that. So let's say you got lots of elements that have to have the same style. You all put the same class on them, but just one element is gonna have this ID. And if I wanted the anchor text, all the anchor text with the class my class to be affected by this set of attributes here, then I would put a dot and then my class. But if I just want the my link anchor element to be affected, I put the pound sign and then a, and then I put in my stuff in here. But in front of it I can also, oh sorry, not sorry, you put pound sign and then my link, and you can put this in front to be sure. And you can also remove the a here, so it's not it's all the items that have the class my class, and not just the anchor text with the class my class. So of course I'm sure you understand a bit of that. So this has no place here because this is HTML and we're in a CSS file again in WordPress. CSS files are defined elsewhere on specific pages, and if you look on the page source here, you can see that the CSS files are supposed to be, yeah, they are called here. You see, style sheet, style is the style sheet, the style that was what we were in just right here. But oftentimes you won't modify the styles right here. Let's go ahead and delete this. Let's delete that too. Let's just not update it. Okay, oftentimes you won't touch those